That thing? See, if it came straight down like that, you can see. It was like
Oh, a little squirrel?
No, it was like a snow angel on the fish.
That's awesome.
that's cool. That's a swimming tripod fish. And they've got like highly adapted fins for standing still just above the seafloor. So they actually kind of really struggle to just swim.
To the next transit scene.
No, we started.
Huh?
No, this is it.
This is transit?
Yeah, we're doing a weird thing. We're trying to stay with the hard substrate, basically. But it's not cooperating. Yeah, I kind of thought with that, like, edge, there'd be, like, more rock around here. But apparently not. Oh, I mean, there's some in front of us to the right a little bit, but... Have we done 10 meters over? Was the start of this at 24.3?
What's that?
Start of this was at
It's like
24.3.
slowly breaking up.
Yeah. That's fine, it's just something to make note of. Just, So is it like the boat to you and like your line is out here somewhere?
It's great. Sail, currents, very strong.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Well,
Huh?
you see it on the crash.
No, I don't think so. I think we'll, they'll probably be before midnight, I would say, for recovery, and we'll try and get maybe even relatively quickly. We're going to finish off this transit and then go up slope for a while. But if it doesn't change drastically in time, the coral cover will fall up to the CTD, which
That looks like fish.
get us out of here. Hopefully.
Right, okay. Yeah, we're 113-ish miles away. I assume the fluid actual site is more accurate in terms of what we have, so it's about 133 miles or something. So
We have a much more confined target there.
so
13, 14 hour mission.
hopefully a little bit of food out in the middle of it. Once we have just a wee bit more of a run with two engines, at least to begin with, and then we'll drop to one engine in 10 knots or so, get rid of the max with it. Go to a little bit of maintenance on the engine, whilst we get up there. So, yeah. So, late morning, ish tomorrow in that case.
Yeah.
Being up there, so expect maybe 1 o'clock or so we could be going for water.
Okay.
That's cool. We've got, I think that's a bipedid fitiform fish there on the bottom. And they tend to stay like protected, close to like rocks and things. And they're predators or ambush, I think. That's interesting.
Small weather system, 3 days time, 17 for a day or so. Nothing big depression wise, 25 knots of wind, fair bit of rain potentially. Clouds. 3 days away, change very substantially. Probably just as we finish French frigate, maybe transects.
Last week.
Yeah. It's about 320 miles back to Hamburg from the 20 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 10 knots. Looking at leaving midnight on the 19th, so
Thursday.
yeah,
Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday transition.
yes, I think it's like 19th and 20th.
Okay.
32 hours. So, I don't know when exactly breaking off the ops will give it more barbecue on that on the 19th in the evening. So, actually, CTD will be the last act.
Yeah. Well, I'll go until you tell me I have to stop.
Okay. Right.
I'm one of those ones.
Yeah. He said, unless for some reason the weather's going to be bad in between or whatever. Yeah. This is like 32 hours, 320 miles. It's nice working at 10 knots, transit speeds. It's math simple.
Yeah, exactly.
You think you'll be able to have a little sort of presentation seminar at sea and maybe the following night, the 20th?
Yeah.
Just give them a library or something like that. This is
Yeah.
what they've seen or their key notes. Just
Yeah, I can figure. I can do something between I'm not so sure how much it'll be. It would be some really cursory observations about this, and if we can sort of, I can try and do something. Because it would be very gross impression.
yeah, all the crew are looking for, it's just to get up a sense of what is being contributed to how to close the loop.
Okay.
Traditionally, by the time past is past cruises, Monica will show my videos.
Yeah.
Usually kind of after the barbecue or whatever, so I don't know, it might be we kind of roll those two together so you don't need to say too much. The videos are save most of it.
Yeah.
We kind of get the opening and closing part or whatever.
Yeah, that would work.
Chat with Monica, so we'll just share it for the 20th.
So what you're thinking about doing the barbecue?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, because we're preparing for Randy's visit. gearing up, setting up the outdoor lounge, and barbecue and all the food and ingredients from home. There's a big cleaning after the barbecue.
Yeah. Can we do barbecue on 19th?
Is anyone to go back down and just little outcrops?
Well, it's hard to tell, like I followed them down and then it stopped.
Yeah.
I followed them down and it
Right,
stopped.
the barbecue, the final night, especially the transects, people are breaking out of the watches.
Close.
Yeah. Requested this 8 o'clock pilot the first thing in the morning, but the agent says that won't be confirmed until probably lunchtime on Friday the day before, just because of vessels priority. The slots.
And we're going back to the UHP, correct? Okay. And you all aren't going anywhere for like meetings?
It's not the least we do that from on the 5th.
Should we have to hear the whole time? Right?
Yes. So, 3 days. Not here.
I just took a phone call from Tarek on the bridge, and he's just curious about what the time you got about.
It's a good thing he's curious. Curiosity is always good.
Yeah. That's what drives science, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I'll give him
Okay.
No, it's like we're gonna try and finish up this transect. We'll go up slow for a while. If nothing changes drastically in terms of coral covers, and we'll pull it with an eye towards them doing a CTE.
Yep. I told him
on
that.
the road by midnight-ish if nothing
Oh, right, okay.
changes drastically here. So
That's it. Do you want to let him know that, or shall I give him a ring?
Yeah, I'll give him I'll block that.
Okay. Did you hear that?
all right, thanks.
We'll go the other way.
Sit down.
Yeah. Go for it.
So how long do you reckon that was any good, like, coverage-wise? Did it peter out right away? And it was pretty
Pretty big, because it's, well, we started at 2436.
Yeah.
And we're at 2422, falling bridges.
Yeah.
It's slowly coming up, and then I'll jump back down, I'll come up quick. Also pretty
How long was the transit?
11 hours-ish. 11 to 12 hours.
That's that transition.
Let's try going. Let's try going downhill and see if we can find anything down. I'm thinking we can run out over the ground.
Balance and current.
Oh, what he got? He bought an entire going truck with him one time. I bought it. He asked me to bring the special edition Apollo 11 Doodle number across from the States for a vitamins.
I'll let it take me back. I'm just gonna let the bull take me back and do it back.
one out of the
Right. Yep. These little patches like this right here.
Yeah, it's not.
How far down?
Let's go 2450.
ROV, Rich.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
ROV, do you want to hold station after this way for me or two on?
Yeah, you can hold station. That's why I just put it a little bit past where you're at, so give you time to slow down to get down.
Copy that, slow down.
You don't have to come to an abrupt stop at all.
I'm hitting the pause button now.
Thank you.
Don't look too bad out there. It's probably patchy.
Technically, we covered 500.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, well, so we did 250 to right there, 150 to there, and 100 here.
Okay.
It's more lined up. Yeah, you're directly below where it's going out. Yeah, this is how far you're going out. Now it's gonna start going.
That's about to stop now.
Okay.
It's gone. Okay. That little bit right there. Go down a little more. That's your up down there and put your behind me is nothing but
Nothing but sand. All right, let's go.
Are we calling that in the transect or?
No, let's go back up. And do you remember where we saw that little patch? And let's see if we can't get to that. And then we'll just.
this patch right here.
No, there. It was probably like 3 to 5 minutes ago. This is all messed messed up anyway. It's probably useless. You're sort of facing that direction that we were going, right?
Cody, I think that's sun out over there.
Yes, I was.
Going back.
No, you're fine. Like this is the one off right.
What's that? That's easy, like normal.
And that's about where we're at right now, John.
That's
Maybe we just go east from there.
Yeah, it looks like there's almost like a ridge off to the east of us.
All right, let's.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just go east from there. We'll call that the end of this transect.
Once we get over there.
Yeah. Well, we'll call a. Yeah, just keep going. Just do, like.
Running right over this hump is one of these chutes that we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah. So let's see if we can just get across that patch to that ridge, and then we'll see if we can't get, like. Does that work for you, Cody, from a sort of movement standpoint?
We got to move that shit.
Well, it depends. Are you going back up or are you going to
Yeah, I
go
was
this
trying
way?
to find a patch.
Well, they're talking about going over this hump right here. So you'd be going back.
You can just go straight
I
across
can
the face.
shoot.
Yeah.
Go just fast straight over there.
Yeah.
I get the best one over before
Trying to get this.
Huh?
Trying to pull this hill over there.
Oh, I get it. Unless you want to
I was gonna
go
pull.
out around.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to get this hill over.
And there's other ridge. Yeah. You're gonna have to pull through.
Sponge. Coral, actually, too.
Go this way.
2350 or 2450?
2450.
Alright, bridge around, start moving into the north.
Copy that, head to the northeast.
Towards the east. 23.
Over here. Alright, bridge, I moved it a little bit more to the east for you.
Fall this down or?
Yeah, let's follow that down.
Those good hits? Look, those good hits.
So you want to go south? South or southeast? No, south.
We'll fall this first.
You can just let him, I mean, if he just goes to that point where you'll be able to slide in behind him.
Going to one point? Talking about this point that I haven't gone to?
Yeah.
Okay. Coach said we're going south,
That's gonna bring me, if I'm holding this position right here, I've still gotta go down, so we take a level right, go down. Going dirt, due south. I think it's a 2450.
you also keep going.
I'm straight as well now.
You just want to go straight for a little while
I'm gonna get yanked. Get that current. That's pulling my umbilical. I'll go straight. See how it goes. See if we look at the sand. One more structure.
Yeah, I mean, you want to, that dark patch along this ridge, I mean, basically straight down is where you want to be going. Or no, wait, is that right, John? That's right. Hold on. Let me think about this for a second. We want the light stuff, right, John?
You want the light stuff.
Yeah,
but
so disregard what I just said.
the issue is that it could be washed. Whatever is going on here could have just stripped enough of it away that
Yeah.
it's got a harder return.
Yeah.
That it's still covering the entire seafloor.
Laterally,
Did we go past that bridge that y'all were pointing at?
Yeah,
So I'm technically on our
you're pretty much on the top of it now. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can go laterally towards the sort of center of that depression, or you can go that direction and down. Eventually, we need, if it turns out to be good in the middle, then we'll go down. But
If we go starboard, be in front of the ship. So we want to go in this little depression in the middle right here, which is my starboard, and down. That's going to be me.
Right, this is all good. It just needs to be a little bit
Deeper.
more patch.
You want to go ahead and run it back and get from there?
See which way it was going.
These bubbles or particles that go underneath your skid. Not bubbles, right?
No, it's particles.
They look like bubbles though, don't they?
It's not paint in here.
It's turning out by the then. What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strong.
Last
Some of those thickness assassins.
Huh?
Some of those thickness assassins.
the taste of one.
What can you taste?
Paint. Smell paint.
Mm-hmm. But they painted it, huh? And that's take that. It's not bad.
Oh, went like 30 meters. So 370 to go.
How was that 30 meters? Huh? How was that 30 meters?
First riding.
Let's go down 30.
Huh?
I just juiced it for us out. No, just keep going down.
You're facing directly north now, right?
North.
Yes. So this is what I was expecting to see. Should be able to back up. That-
Yeah, you can go across if you want.
Straight in.
Yeah, just sort of like contour now. See how far that gets us. It's just gonna get us out in the sand. We'll see what's on the other side.
20 meter heads.
Yeah.
You're clear, just go over that.
And then come down up toward the start. So it might get down just a little bit, possibly.
I might just stop. Catch up.
Go on that bridge up top right there.
Yeah, keep going that way. Is it working for you?
Wait, on to go now. Jump straight across.
Yeah, let's just contour at this depth. Within 10 meters of it.
That's how you go down.
North.
For 10 meters. No, 2 meters. Probably go south. Probably go west.
try to check on just Iris?
Yeah. It's probably okay.
Try it out.
Thank you. Wrong direction.
Just checking. You took 20 meters off for the determination. I don't know. Okay. I'll assume 20 meters will be modified later.
Get you back to the next one.
What's that? I'll leave Mars, but the start length and determination.
Yeah. I'll look on the storage deck. If I can, we'll get back up it. Good job, Gemma. Keep it up.
Not too bad. Yes, please.
did it. We paid it.
How far do you think we've gone, J-Rod?
Well, we've gone down to 2450. And we have gone from here to there. My guess for that. Not messing that up. Trying to see how far he's traveling. That's smart, man. I mean, I would say probably about 200 meters.
Okay.
What I would estimate, and as a straight line, less than that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be confident with 800. What you got there? You got the tight.
No. Just have to go across that sand patch. Life is what it is. Sometimes you get sand, sometimes you get hard substrate.
Life is, sometimes you get sad, sometimes you get hard. Substrate.
That's good.
Yes, what's that for that? Hard stuff.
Some rock. Dare I even ask John how many people are watching on this wonderful Saturday night?
Got all of them. One on Facebook, 5 on YouTube.
All right. I'd say my family is watching, but they would probably know better. Like, whatever.
Or they're dead.
5 left.
So, just gotta face northwest to that.
Jump off.
Well, they just kind of come back.
So I think it's a passive. Just turn around and face it.
Fine, man. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Pressure on society.
I don't care. Clean it up.
Control the car comes down.
It's fine.
It was full on paranoia on this boat already.
Oh yeah? Did that everyone?
And the best stuff is Lenny.
Go.
It's who?
Lenny. She like checks everywhere before she goes anywhere. Goes stuff down and runs out of rooms.
That's the board change?
I did. Want to jump in there, Cody?
Yes.
That was quick.
Cody cannot wait to run away right now.
You over it?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Just looking around?
Turn's bad. Don't turn northwest.
Turn west.
You're going. Build the tight. I'm pretty much flying starboard. Looking for a ridge coming down me. Go starboard. Look for a ridge come down me.
Alright.
Sorry for the horrible flying. That was bad.
You're good,
It
Cody.
was rough.
No, it's fine. It's like this is just a
That.
crappy
Stepping down again.
terrain for what we want.
It all good.
So I'm gonna go like this one over here.
Yeah, we're just trying to like connect some dots around 2440, 2430. So 2420. It's not going so good, but we're invested, so we're going to see it through.
Alright.
I think we're invested to the tune of 250 meters ish.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go to this one in front of me and then follow it down to the right.
Sure.
Get that pilot change there. Pilot change.
Sorry.
Did you get that
I
pilot
got
change?
close. I think this is the Java.
Yeah, I forget you're not Jimbo.
Bridge, we just updated your position.
ROV bridge, go ahead.
Yeah, Ty, we just updated your position.
Copy that, I see move, I'll head up towards it.
Roger, thank you.
Yeah, we keep seeing corals.
A couple right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close a look at them or not?
No, just stick.
No, they're there.
Yeah, there's.
Big bad John. Alright, somebody's really needing to talk to me.
What?
My phone just went crazy. Like I got a bunch of vibrations from text messages that somebody's needing to communicate.
I've been digging in your pockets.
Not at all.
Was that turn?
Pretty rough. Trying to adjust my gains so they can fly through it because they were really low. But trying to like do it with one hand while not flying away.
You know, I've been reaching your pocket.
Then
Just past halfway of McNelly.
Fern?
You've seen
Fern Gully.
I see
Alright, so I'm gonna turn here when I get destroyed for doing this.
You can just slide across that sand patch over to that next patch on the same depth contour if you want. I wouldn't go up
You
necessarily.
you don't take that chance.
No.
Alright.
Hit me hopping.
It's cool over there though.
There's potential, no doubt.
I'm not going to transect.
Here we are. You know, see the smooth wonderfulness of my flying right now. 250 meters into it. Good cup coral.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna turn a little bit. Starboard. Coral right there for you. And then there's gonna be a wall.
Hey, Bridge, we made an adjustment.
Thank you, RV.
Eric, good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
Wow. Jump across and go up to the left, or you're going to go start it from the left and go to the right?
Just go straight across.
Alright, nothing to worry about that guy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, sort of like go up and over that, I guess. Yeah, so you can just sort of like connect those points.
You don't want to fly this one at all, or?
Yeah, you can fly that one.
Okay. I'm going to turn onto it.
So, but are we doing 500 right now, or
Yeah, we're doing 500.
we just started the last one?
Whoa, hey, get back to me. Sorry. He wasn't kidding, was he?
No, he was not.
We should be like 250, so it's over 300 by now. I don't know where it started, but I have no idea. I don't know anything.
We put a marker down.
Trust me, there was very little back and forth between me and Cody. But yes, yeah.
Is that green marker? That's not green marker, is it? Okay.
When you're ready to switch out. No, it's no rush.
200 then? Yeah, but we've been sort of weaving around, so we'll,
Oh, 250.
yeah, we'll call it 250. Yeah, so start going sort of along the
grab
depth
that
contour.
top one up here.
Yeah.
To the right.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oops. All right.
I'm going to try and do 245. If you can,
Depth of 240.
240 or 245, the depth contour.
Oh, 224.45.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. They never got that heading, or I was like, that was
No,
okay,
I'm
I
like
got you.
losing it. 2,445.
Alright. rather less impressive than I thought it was going to be when I saw it in the distance.
I know.
I don't see anything except for unless I go on that direction. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking just go, like, stick at 245 or shallower, and even if it's going across sand,
Okay. That I can do.
but go to the right.
Yeah, so. Alright.
And you can turn and look out
Yeah.
forward.
I'm very far away and get pulled every which way. Alright. There we go. Down.
Yeah, if it's possible, if you can push north, more north.
ROV bridge, yeah, work in progress, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Work hard. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding.
ROV bridge, you still have the mic on, just for information, and it's with car police, that's it.
Roger.
Thank you.
And then to listen, so we can tell which way we're coming from instead of
So we got east or east?
East.
Alright. Hey, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? It smells fruity.
fruit.
Yeah. Is it pre-workout? And you can't drink protein shakes and pre-workout if you're not working out.
Yeah.
No, it's not good for you, dude.
Oh.
You're gonna
You're gonna
have,
have a bump ticker.
you're gonna get all funky and you know how it works.
Yeah. Intense workout.
Yeah, but you take your pre-workout half hour before your workout, not 2.5 hours.
That's sick.
You're gonna get all twitchy.
Yeah.
What if you need to do a
Stand.
Yeah.
if you need to do a grab or something, you know, twitchy. Get it? Ruthless.
Is he on the hunt?
Huh? Pretty sure that does.
I don't know, he's lying in the shadows, like digesting his meal.
Yeah.
A lot of paranoid people around here right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm just chilling. That's the name of the game.
Just chill.
Wow.
Those are both fish, eels, eel lake.
There's just such a big sail out there that until we get it to like 85 back towards where it should be going. It's gonna be full on. It's the nature of it. We'll follow this around and continue east.
Stay at your depth, please.
Alright.
Is it link up?
Say that again?
Link up.
Yeah, it is. Something you want to share with the world? I think we've got 7 people live. Okay, whereabouts are we diving? Was that like recently, or is that like old?
There was one.
Why are your timestamps?
8:02, but that was a long time ago.
502, I guess that was.
5:02.
So
Oh, okay. Now
we're diving on Necker Ridge towards the north end of Necker Ridge, and previous site was toward the southern end of Necker Ridge, and the sites before that were south of Necker Ridge and the mid-Pacific mountains and the Pacific Remote Island Sanctuary or Monument, sorry. And so we did about 3 different sites down there, 2 sites on Necker Ridge, and we're going to finish this dive up in the next several hours, and then we're going to transit up into the Northwest Swan Islands, French Frigate Shoals, in the
Moku
Moku
Akea.
Akea.
It's easier if you break it into the syllable.
Yes.
I was trying to.
Moku Akea.
Papa Hanau Moku Akea. See,
Marine National Monument.
Papa Hanau Moku Akea.
Yeah.
There you go.
Getting it.
I'm getting
By the
it.
end of the cruise, you'll have it down. I know you will.
Just in time for me to go off and forget it again. Papa Hanau Moku Akea.
Yes.
National Marine Monument, French Frigate Shoals. That place is going to be good. If the deeper dives are anything like the shallower dives, that is a really cool place to go diving. So we will probably be diving there, I would guess, so we got about a 12-hour transit plus 2 hours plus 3 hours. That would make it 17, 18 hours. Ballpark. Yeah, maybe make it 18 to 20 hours.
About 5 hours. 5
yeah.
o'clock. 6 o'clock. 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah. Somewhere in that ballpark. Who knows? This is the Schmidt Ocean Institute, ROV SUBastian, making her 300th dive.
Archela's up.
Archie's up. Who's on before him on deck? Wendell.
And then I lean after.
bouncy.
Is there anything on your mind right now, Andy?
Sand.
Sand.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of sand at this depth. A lot of fish, more fish. I mean, that's the seems to be the upside of sand. You tend to see more of the what we call a tripod fish, which are the ones that are up on their pectoral fins on the sand. And others of these eel-like. I think there's the Phytoformes fish. Certainly a lot more sea cucumbers. We got some really gorgeous footage earlier of the sea cucumber filtering the sand. So these the sea cucumbers basically feed the sand in through their digestive tract and digest what they can and excrete the rest. So that's a lot of the tracks that you're seeing in the sand are from sea cucumbers and other worms and other things that live in this soft substrate. But it's not very good habitat for sessile critters to settle out and attach because it's constantly moving. It's not very hard surface, so they can't attach very easily. Every once in a while you'll see right down there is pretty cool. See the pat tracks in the sand, possibly from one of the sea cucumbers. There's also a number of divots in the sand, little mounds, from what our other colleague was telling us. There are a lot of sand dollars and things like that living just beneath the surface of the sand. And they're also filtering their food out of the sand as well. Other than that, not much else to see. A few shrimp here and there.
Here we go. We got something coming up.
We do. We have some rock substrate coming up, so maybe we'll be able to see some more corals and sponges and little cup corals. We saw a few of those. Collected a couple of those earlier.
Yeah. There's a wicked current that's putting that umbilical into a nice little sail pattern form. So it's hard driving right now. Hard flying.
Is the current stronger down there than it is at the surface?
Not sure if it's stronger, but it's definitely.
Well, we are. Yesterday was the full moon. Little trivia tidbit. Yesterday was the last full moon on Friday the 13th until 2049. So if you missed it, hopefully you live long enough to see the next one.
2049?
2049. I don't know. I'm on the cusp
20
of
years?
That one.
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
Is that Aggie math again? 30 years. Yeah.
So, but we did learn that the tides do, although surface currents and wind and other activities at the surface don't necessarily influence currents at this depth, tidal changes do. And so, of course, the full moon pulls up the earth and changes because of the tidal fluctuations. So during a full moon, you're going to have a higher tide, and so that's going to influence currents at this depth. But in Hawaii, we don't have anywhere near the kind of currents that you have as you get closer and closer to the equator. The tidal difference decreases significantly, and so in Hawaii, typical tidal current changes like max 3 feet max, but generally like around 1.5 feet. King tides and things like that, we can get up to almost 3 feet. But nothing like what you have in the northern and southern latitudes, higher latitudes.
The big SO1 snake is around that big. You know what I want to talk about? He's trying to the A-frame is going on.
And again, we're down here. Light doesn't penetrate down this far, so we're in way beyond
Go lower.
photic
That's
depths.
fine.
And so these animals down here live in complete and total darkness their entire lives. And it's cold. It's like almost freezing. We are at 1.6 degrees Celsius. So about 34, 35 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Cold and dark.
Cold and dark. And I think near the surface the temperature was like 28, 30?
No, I don't remember off the top of my head, but
I kind of remember looking at the ROV as it was coming up, but it's quite a big temperature change between the down 2,454 meters compared to the surface. So this feature, Necker Ridge, is really the only dominant geologic feature that intersects the Hawaiian archipelago along its entire length, 1,600 miles. And so it's theorized as a potential bridge or barrier, as we say, in our expedition here to organisms getting into the Hawaiian archipelago and vice versa, deep sea organisms getting out of the Hawaiian archipelago along this ridgeline. And so that's one of the questions we're trying to answer with this expedition and studying organisms on both sides of this perceived division area where kind of the species composition changes, and actually doing some genetic barcoding of the organisms and seeing if they're the same genetically on either side of similar organisms at similar depths. And the other thing we're trying to do is just with all the video, I think we've collected almost, 180 hours of video, high definition, beautiful 4K video at different depths, is to really kind of set a bit of a baseline for what we see down here. Because although right now we're in a protected area, Papahanao Moku Akea Marine National Monument.
Papahanao
Moku Akea. You're getting it. It's sinking in. Previously, we were in a few areas that are in the high seas or international waters, and those areas could potentially be of interest for manganese iron crustal deposits for deep sea mining at some point in time in the future. So anyway, we're trying to see what's down there and get a baseline for what exists at these different depths.
Just get to the waypoint, Eric. Just put your stern on the waypoint.
ROV bridge, your garbled, can't understand.
Eric, just put your stern to the waypoint. So we're changing direction.
Stern on the waypoint, stern on the waypoint.
And what you hear in the background there is the dance that the ship and the ROV have to, the coordination has to happen between the ship at the surface following the ROV at the bottom, 2,400 meters beneath us, and the ship can only go a certain distance from the ROV because it is tethered to the ship. And so there's constant communication between the control room down here with the ROV pilots and the bridge. And the bridge is but it's harder for the ship to maintain course because it's dealing with surface currents as well as wind and what?
The mass of the ship.
And the mass of the ship, yeah. The ship is,
You still have the mic on.
Yeah, Brandon, by my best guess, we've traveled about 250.
250 or
500 total. Sorry.
500 total? Okay.
I'm looking around this
this little feature here.
Yeah. Yeah, like go out to the end of that one and we'll call it.
Spin around to my port.
So you mean sort of a U-turn?
Yeah, I'm sure that we've covered. We're sort of running that around in and out. What kind of time are we looking to get to the surface?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Well, wait. No.
Wait a bit.
I'd
What
say
we can do is we can try to go somewhere else and set up a little bit better. Because right now the biggest problem that we're having.
yeah, go. No, we're figure out what you want to do to get set up, and I mean, go up slope, and I don't think we're going to see anything. So I would say, get yourself into a position to recover, and an hour and a half. I would make it 10-ish on deck.
Yeah, so we're kind of coming across right at the end of this gully. We just headed back down, obviously, so we're getting towards more of this sediment area. But if we go up and maybe try that area, but
Yeah, you just want to start heading up, like up slope over to the right.
To east.
Yeah.
Alright, so what we can do is this is upslope right here, I think in this direction.
Yeah.
And just shoot him forward about.
even if you just said dead north, or to north,
Okay, that'll keep you behind him, so that'd be actually a good position for him.
so we're coming up slope, doing that slightly to start with.
Alright, yeah, that'll work. I'll just.
You can go pretty quick too.
Alright.
I'm just looking for, at this one time, I'm just looking for like big changes and, you know, on the off chance that we see something, but I'm not going to give it too much time. Eric, you want to have a go at playing with the camera while we're going up?
Yeah, sure.
If we see something cool in the stop, or just.
Yeah, I'll be here, so we can sort of. So, has anyone shown you anything yet?
You still wrong.
So, use the joystick to move the camera. Okay. If you want to see sort of what your orientation is, you check over into that second camera, or second on the bottom, right? You can see if I move it, you can sort of see where it is. So, and then up and down, right? You don't want to go too far up, especially on a train like this, because it's gonna, and then zoom. And what you want to do is you want to sort of like take it in quarters or thirds, right? So if you want to zoom in on something, don't go like really quick like that, right? That's sort of really choppy.
Yeah.
And yeah, sort of slowly start it off and then let it go, like let it settle in, go in again on something, back all the way out. Here you can control your iris a little bit, right? So you want to be on like that's pretty dark, right? That's overly bright. So you want to be on the darker side, if anything, because you can always recover that. If it's too bright, there's not much you can do with it.
Yep.
Then if you do some, for right now, I would leave it in autofocus for the most part. If you do a sort of super close-up zoom, then you can take it out of autofocus and adjust your focus here. But most of the time, you don't need to. And if you do like a super close zoom up, then as soon as you're starting to pull away, then I would make sure it goes back into autofocus so that it can grab the right focus.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, on the MIC.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to the
Yeah.
listener we have.
All right, this is Eric Klingberg. I'm the student opportunities participant with the Schmidt Ocean Institute, and I'm a student at the University of Hawaii at Manoa.
What is this student opportunity participant? What does that mean exactly?
So there's a opportunity. So Schmidt Ocean Institute opens up a berth for a student on board the ship, and they get to participate in some of the science and the scientific communication that goes on aboard the Falcor, and they get to just kind of experience what doing on ship oceanographic research is like. They get to kind of partake in that and see what that get a feel for it.
Wave to the camera, Eric.
Which one?
This is an opportunity that other students throughout the country and the world will be able to apply for, perhaps be out here doing this with you.
Yes, exactly.
Is there a procedure to go about that, or?
Yeah, there's an application process and a interview involved, and so what happens is you list your availability throughout the year, and as the cruises come up throughout the year, they will reach out to students who are available and see if they're still interested, and if they are, then they get to go, and if not, then maybe they can get on a later one, but maybe not. So yeah, that's it.
Keep your bags packed, is what you're saying. Keep your bag packed.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this your first cruise?
No, so originally, my first cruise was with the Hawaii Ocean Time Series program. That's out of the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and they have a very long-running program in which they do depth profiles of the ocean's temperature, salinity, and I guess conductivity. Yeah. So they deploy CTDs from the research vessels that they own, and they allow for undergraduate students and grad students to join in on that, and they're usually approximately 5-day cruises. Ooh.
Sea cucumber.
Up here we have looks like a pelagic sea cucumber we just passed by.
It was tumbling.
Huh?
The one that was tumbling?
Yeah, it looked like it was tumbling. They seem very graceful in the water, but maybe a little clumsy on the seafloor.
So what kind of stuff you've been doing on a cruise?
Oh wow. Yeah, so in the ROV communications room, I've been tracking the different species that we've been seeing on the live stream. So being able to identify those later on will be useful in tracking the different species makeup throughout these regions, and understanding the type of biodiversity that is occurring in different areas on the seafloor. And then when we bring up the samples, I've been able to help process those samples for later on research and doing the type of genetics studies and the paleoclimate research. And so we're just prepping those samples in different types of chemical solutions and storing those, and then they will be taken back to their respective universities, and they will be and used for later research.
But you're not the only student aboard, right?
Yeah, no. So there's there's one other undergrad, and then grad student, and a PhD student. Yeah, and they are from Texas A&M.
And
Florida State.
Florida State. From the labs of Dr. Amy Bacco Taylor and Dr. Brendan Rourke.
Thank you, man.
So Eric, what is your undergrad in? What's your major?
My major is in global environmental science, and it's within the oceanography department at UH10. And it's
You'll pursue a graduate degree?
not right away. I think I want to get a feel for what the job market is like, and just gain some working experience first, and just see what I like, see what I don't like, and if I feel I need to kind of specialize more in an academia setting, then I think I would go back. But I've had a good amount of school for most of my life, so I think it would be good to get a break for that.
What year are you?
I'm in my 4th year,
Yeah.
so senior year.
And what kind of job do you think you want to go out and get?
I'm interested in kind of resource management, but also kind of translating the science to maybe inform some policy. That kind of work intrigues me. Yeah.
There are some other students out here that had the same idea of path.
Yeah,
What was that?
I'm interested in the fisheries management in Hawaii. There's a pretty good fisheries there, deep water fisheries, dealing with primarily tuna, but also swordfish, and we have like wahoo or ono, which are wahoo, and even some sharks I've seen. I got to take a tour of the fish auction, and it's like one of the only fish auctions in the U.S. that where you can actually see the fish being brought into port, and then different buyers going and bidding on these like giant tuna. So it's pretty cool.
Videos of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes me realize that's not our business.
Just need to attach a spear gun to Sebastian as you're coming up.
I've thought about that.
Make
Yeah.
sure you're not paying attention if it's in this area.
Yeah, you can't do it here. I didn't. Yeah, just as long as you're outside the boundary of the monument.
What were you saying, John?
That's on the first run a distraction on Andy.
Yeah.
I did not see that one.
Do you think your other classmates are going to be jealous?
Oh, they already are. And a couple of my good friends are also fascinated by the deep sea. So I know that for sure they're definitely envious.
Have they applied to come out here as well?
I know I have a friend who applied for the Okeanos Explorer position, but unfortunately the opening that they had for him conflicted with his schedules. And I have a friend coming out in October, and he should be joining you guys. His name's Solomon. So, and
Going out here in October?
yeah,
When?
I don't know. He said October, and I don't know if that's at the beginning or towards the end.
Yeah, 2 different groups in October.
Oh, okay. Well, he's also based in Hawaii, so if that's where it's in.
The first one definitely.
Okay.
Transiting down to C1
I see.
or not. Yeah.
But you've got a short one like a whale one, right? Like a 4 or 5 day whale one.
We have like a 7 or 8 day one. We come out on the 9th, so I guess like the 11th to the 19th. Something like that.
Yeah, my friend has a kind of a specialization with chemistry, and also he has some familiarity with building sensors. So that might, if it has those kind of elements, then that may be what he's interested in.
Sensors, definitely. I know that there's something to do with.
That's gonna be some cool stuff.
I want to stand by right here.
Where's that?
Yeah, it looks like we got one of those Lady slipper. Is that what you call it?
That was a totally translucent sea cucumber.
Looks like we got one of those
You just
swimming.
focus on it, I'll start swimming around it.
Yeah.
Apparently, when they're very frightened, they disembowel themselves. They distend their entire innards.
It's not something we need to see. If children watch it.
And it's a delicacy for Japanese fish markets.
There you go. Oh, that was
yeah.
a long way.
Just a purely translucent one. It's waving at us.
Galloping through the sea.
I'm still getting a feel for the controls, and I apologize for the. Yeah.
Alright, we'll scare
You guys,
When someone hands you the controller and you're like,
I got
"Wait,
it.
you did inverted Y?"
Yeah! Is this inverted?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it
It
is.
definitely is.
Yeah.
Up is down, down is up.
Is it? Are all
It
the
kind of makes
controls?
sense if you're flying, if you're playing like a flight simulator,
Yeah,
like
it
you're playing
depends on
like,
playing.
like a first-person shooter. It's crazy.
Yeah, every video game I've played is kind of contrary to this camera control. So I think I can get the hang of it, but
Adapt, innovate, overcome.
yeah. Luckily, we do see we have seen a couple of those pelagic sea cucumbers in the past, so I'm not. But I definitely try to practice them. I think Brendan was wise to let me try this out over a less productive area.
Fly experts.
You practice
Shrimp over there.
So what are the most interesting animals you've seen so far?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Most interesting.
Shit, the camera on it?
Probably the corals or. Is Brendan here? No. No. Yeah, some I think. That's a tough question. We saw a chimera fish, which I think we've only seen one of those so far. And those, I think people also call them dolphin fish or something. That they're very unique. I think they're like of an older kind of order of fish, and their skulls are are really unique. And I'm not a fish expert, but yeah, they have a really interesting appearance, and their pectoral fins are really long, so they look very graceful as they're swimming through the water column. What about you? What do you think are
My
most
favorite?
interesting?
I like the sponges, the glass sponges.
Oh
All the
yeah.
different varieties of glass sponges. It's really amazing the diversity of growth forms, and some of them get quite large and provide all these corals and sponges provide quite a variety of habitat for other animals, and just seeing the sponges with like 20 or so different other animals living on top of them is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think one thing I've been very fascinated in is the different types of communities that are living on these sponges and corals. Just you see like maybe 5 or 6 species living amongst one coral or one sponge, and that to me was really fascinating and something I didn't really expect. On land, well, you see, you might have a tree that has some bugs in it and maybe a bird or two, but here you see one one coral that has, you know, a couple brittle stars on it, some barnacles, and sometimes even some other types of coral. We have these kind of parasitic kind of coral species that grow on the dead stalks of the bamboo coral, which is the ones that we've been seeing. So really, really unique.
Hey John, how much further to where we expect to maybe see something like last night?
Outside.
Okay. Stand by here. It's pretty flat, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer we're going to put up with this.
Got something. Like something to look at for a second. That's it. Never mind. Not that impressive. There's a coral on it.
Looks like a Pleurogorgia. So
ROV bridge, should I come to a stop at this waypoint or keep going?
Stand by.
Stand by.
I'm going to continue going for a little while further.
Yeah, let's give it another 10 minutes.
Alright.
looks like it has some hydroids living on one of those branches.
There. We're gonna carry on a little bit further to the north.
Alright.
Hey Eric, we're gonna keep carrying on about due north for another 10 minutes or so.
Thank you. Carry on for another 10 minutes.
And this one's the iris?
Yeah.
Ooh, it looks like we have an eel-like fish here. It's interesting how they only move the very back part of their tail to just kind of conserve as much energy as possible here in the deep sea.
I guess the current state where he wants to go, he just guides a little bit with the rudder.
Yeah, that might be the case too.
And I put a big transect on now, I think that, unfortunately.
Those eels up there.
What is that?
On the left, looks like a dead coral on the left, and looks like a Iridogorgia species on the left, and on the right there's a Pleurogorgia. Both in the same genus, Chrysogorgia.
Look at this.
This is I believe we've looked at these already, but we can get a good shot of that.
Come around to the right a little bit for the camera. Better lighting.
Oh. Yeah, up is down and down is up on this thing. That's so good. Is there a way to change the?
You can change it, but then everybody else will be confused. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. If it was one button, then
Yeah, you have to go into the programming in there.
it's a hassle. So.
It would affect all the cameras.
Get a close up of these polyps, and oh, it looks like there's some shrimp there. Kind of taking advantage of the. Ooh, that's the maximum. Looks like there's some shrimp there. Trying to get a nice perch up on the branches of this Chrysogorgia. And there's some corals up, or there's some barnacles up on the right as well. On the far right side there.
Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're celebrating the 300th dive of the Sebastian here. I'm wondering, which one of you has been here the longest? What was your first dive? Remember?
First dive, what number was it?
Yeah, sure.
87.
87. Okay.
It was years ago. 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Longest, I'm the shortest.
Oh, okay. You're the rookie.
Yeah. The
Ironically, the oldest of the ROV crew.
Cody, Russ, Adam. Well, actually, Cooper was here, but he was an MT for a while.
Okay.
And Charles doing their finance thing.
He's
You here before me, Chris?
No, I was here. But,
That was your first one?
yeah,
Yeah. No, I had a couple months on.
yeah, but just shy of 2 years. What dive was that? What number do you remember? Feels like 300 is a reasonable number, I'll tell you that.
I just want to ban these sponges.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a little
Maybe something next to it.
something using it as a nice little home there.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can maneuver this thing.
We zoom out a little closer to it.
Might try the manual.
Alright.
You mind if I try the manual focus just?
So now you take it out of auto and manual focus on it.
Okay.
Yeah, hit the button first.
This one?
Yeah,
Top.
you're in manual now.
Oh, okay. So up on the knob is farther away. I see. I think there's just a little bit too much filament in the way.
Here.
Unless.
You're out of sync with those guys, so put it back into. All right, so now
Keep it up. There you go.
Put yours back on auto. Put yours back on auto? Okay. I don't know what's going on.
Does it need
It's out of the sync now.
Yeah. Definitely something inside there. Crab or something. Shrimp or crab.
Still confused.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
I
looking
think
at
it's
I'm
you.
confused by something else.
I'm checking you out.
I think we're getting it.
It's like, whoa, what's out there?
Try manual focus now.
I think it's
It's a shrimp.
yeah, I think I got it.
There you go. The wedding sponge.
It's a type of Euplectidae glass sponge. I'm not familiar with the shrimp that's inside of it.
There's one sponge where 2 shrimp will go in and the sponge closes over. and
Here, yeah.
The opening gets too small for them to escape. So
You
they
want
put
to
the
set
rest
up
of the
for
lines
cover.
together.
Whatever you need to do for that.
So you want to go ahead and bring it up?
Oh, we haven't seen one of these yet. Right
What
here.
was that? Fish?
I just remember I think it's the genus. It's called like Yoda. And that's the only reason I remember. But these
Is that his
things
tail?
um
Or is that just a
it's a type
impression
of
in the-
worm, I believe.
Oh.
And it makes a lot of those the tracks that we see. It's one of those things that makes those interesting shapes in the sand that almost look like they're made by aliens.
Huh.
And this thing also puts out yeah, these like lines of
Oh, sand.
detritus.
Yeah. That's cool.
They're just a very interesting
It's a
organism.
I've got someone
type
on
of worm.
YouTube. It's got a comment for you.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Thank you for that. That's amazing. Ghost shark. Awesome. That's an awesome nickname for a fish as well. Very cool. Yeah, maybe we could, if the lasers are on when we observe that
They were.
chimera, maybe we could get a length estimate for that later on.
Like I said, we said it was Chimera, but yeah. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and recover.
Yeah, alright.
You want to sign us
Um,
out?
Sign us out? Yeah. Alright, this is Eric Klingberg on the RV Falcor, and yeah, celebrating the 300th dive. And
300 dive of what?
300 dive of the ROV SUBastian,
Yes.
and we are on the bottom of the seafloor in the Northwest Hawaiian Islands, and yeah, exploring Necker Ridge as a bridge or barrier for coral communities, and we'll be diving throughout the next week, and hopefully seeing even more diverse coral communities and less sand. And
Diving in 18 hours in French frigate shoals.
yeah, diving 18 hours in French frigate shoals. Thanks for stopping by, and oh, there's a little fish to send you on your way. Good night, and thanks for watching.
Good job.
Nice job, Eric.
Hey Eric, we're going to be in position to recover.
And Eric, was that hold position to recover?
Roger that, we're going to get in position to recover.
Awesome, thanks.
We're doing the transects and setting the and centering the camera. What do you use as like a reference?
I watched that second